Alright. Just let me know how the sound is and make sure the screen's right and all that. So I'm assuming if I want to make this part not show up in the VOD, I need to stop the stream and then restart it and I make it public. That way we don't get the sound test on the VOD. Sounds on the quiet side, app-wise. It's like the game. Screen is fine, app is fine. Could y'all give me conflicting reports? Okay. How do we have 8 viewers when we're unlisted right now? And before the sound test gets out to the public? Okay. So you think we're good? Nothing messed up? Now see, unlike most streamers, if I ever got big, I would actually pay you all. Don't like the whole modding for free thing. This modding takes work, man. Alright, I'm gonna stop the stream, that way this part doesn't get into the VOD, and then I'm gonna start it back up. Alright, let me just post this on Discord real quick. Okay. While I wait for the stream to fill up a little bit, I'm gonna do some inventory management. Hey, Inferno. Oh, we got 2 bulls. We're on our way. Bull did a fair bit of work, Kath. You'd have been proud. Oh boy, what do I need to do, Kath? Yeah, if I do use Grails, it'll probably be pretty far, like after I beat Guadia or something like that. I want to try to, you know, limit that kind of thing as much as I can until we get really far into the game. Let's see. Okay, actually, let me break this. Not bad in the early game. Yeah, I'll get to it in a minute. Just gotta clean up my inventory a little bit. Oh yeah, no, this is real quality right here. Alright, it's good enough for now. I don't even have St. George yet, so Not a lot of use for that one. Alright, I'm going to do the Hercules free quest. I'm probably gonna like try to solo it with somebody's support just for fun, because it's a free quest, so I don't mind doing something like that. But I'm gonna wait a little bit until like more people are here, so I'm gonna just start with some of the easy quests in France here. I mean, most of the 1 and 2 star CEs are completely useless, but for team cost reasons, there's a couple of them that are kind of nice to have just for filler later on. He type new. Oh, he said hi chat, so not hi me. I see how it is. This permanent half AP is really nice though. Oh yeah, CE bombs. Not gonna bother, especially because I'm only using 3-star CEs for the most part. May end up using some other ones later on, but we'll see. Oh yeah, we don't have a story support yet, so Sanson in the back it is. This should be a really easy quest, so I don't think it really matters what I bring. Yeah, the previous stream will be on YouTube eventually, but because of the Grand Order opening, it got blocked because of the music, because it's copyright claimed. But I'm muting it, but it takes like forever for the edit of for the mute to go through. A lot of people say it normally it only takes like 45 minutes or so, but it's been processing for like an hour and a half or something. Yeah, the previous one got up to like I think 180 or something. Oh, the beginning of France is so easy. Yeah, once most of the people are in here, I'll fuck around with the Herc free quest. I see how it is, Kath. My current highest level of a servant is, I don't know, like 11 or something. I'm intentionally keeping them fairly low. And the goal is to never go beyond Mash's cap level. I might make an exception in Camelot though and just go to 70 by then, but we'll see. How often do you plan to stream? Well, you know, I still want to do the regular videos. It's still going to be the majority of what I do, and that takes a lot of time. And I have a job and everything, so, you know, I'll do it when I can, but I don't know how often I'll be able to do it. And like, especially when we're in like the more filler content, like so right now the content's really easy and not so interesting. You know, all I'll probably do is I'll do a lot of late night streams where we're just kind of chilling and getting through it. But when we get to like the bigger, more interesting content, I'll probably try to do that at more like mainstream times. I really need more people to add me that have low-level servants slotted. It's a problem. Look at this, I got a mod at the top of the list, and he's got a fucking level 90. Good job. Yeah, Kath, if you want to throw some low-level servants in, that's fine with me. There was a guy earlier that had a level 10 St. George. That was awesome, and that was like perfect because like my guys are level 10, so. Oh man, 2,000 health now. You're getting serious. I think the first bit of content that's like remotely challenging will be like Jolter. She's alright, if you don't overlevel it anyway. Oh, fuck this guy up. Damn it, I didn't. Damn it, Capo. I recently got JP and decided to do a 1 to 3 star only run. Who would you recommend using focusing on besides the obvious? I mean, you know, Caesar is really good. David. You know, you generally want to have just good options across all classes. You definitely want to have a single target for each class. But yeah, you said, you know, the obvious Ku, Hans, and Robin, but yeah, David, Caesar, yes, Caesar's a really big one, honestly, because he really synergizes with a lot of your DPS people like Robin, and then he's also a Saber and single target, so he just gets a lot done on his own. Yeah, Ushi can definitely be good. This guy's a little bit high, he's level 18, but we'll roll with it. Hello, Honako Blue. Nice to see what you did there. There is someone with that username out there, which is pretty funny. I do play in a, but there's not a lot to do on NA right now. So go man, streaming, farming, super fun. And I kind of have to make an ult for streaming because it's like, for my videos, you know, I can't, you can only do the bosses once if you defeat them, so I need to record them in a normal setting, that way I can edit the music and all that. And like, when like London comes out in for North America, you know, I want to do a summary video, so I gotta record all that as well, so it's kind of hard to stream that kind of content. Besides, I haven't done Camelot in a really long time, and it'll be a while before I get there, but it'll be fun when I do. Oh man, let's get those crits. Please use Geronimo. The thing is, Capo, if I had like time to play this account a lot, I probably would, but you know, I have to keep playing my other accounts, and they're going to take priority when like an events come around. So it's going to be very difficult for this account to get XP and mainly Ascension mats, so it's gonna be difficult to level up silly bullshit like that. But we shall see. That's true though, if we want to feature Geronimo, someone in the chat can put them on their friends list, and that, especially once we get to the point in the game where like having level 70s won't be too strong. Also shoutouts to Tank G making us take absolutely no damage. Easy. This is interesting though, I've never used Lubu until this account. Alright, I think we should mess around with Herc now. Alright, and like I said, obviously you're not supposed to do Herc at this low of a level, and normally I'm going to stick to 1 to 3 stars, but for this, I will use something from the support list that's, you know, far stronger, just to see if they can solo Herc for the shits and giggles. Be a lot easier to set this up if oh wait, yeah, I can't do that. If I had a St. George, I don't though, so this is gonna be kind of wonky. All right, so what do you all want to see? If that Angria was around, that'd be perfect, because I'd love to see a level 100 Angria try to do this. That probably would not work, to be honest. Like this Herc isn't that strong, but he still has. If he's focusing one target, it's still pretty bad. Hello, Roxas. I think so you say it. I am so bad with names. It's not gonna go well as this progresses. I mean, I could be an old man and just sound young-ish. If I sound young. I know people keep saying I sound really young. I'm not that young. We could see if this level 68 Mordred could handle Herc. That might be too much because it has K-scope. Is this a meme stream? I mean, some of it might be, but right now we're just gonna mess around with someone's unit to see if they can solo the free quest with Herc, just because. Although, you know, we might actually want to put this off until I do have a St. George. That way they can do it like a clean solo. It's a free quest, so it's not going anywhere. So it might be better to do that, I think. It can't take that long to get St. George. Yeah, man, I have heard some 20-year-olds with some deep voices, man. Oh, here we go. We got a level 1. That's what I'm talking about. Here, we'll whip out the Fergus. And if every once in a while if the mods can give me a heads up on anything important I've missed. I'm trying to read chat, but you know, you can only do so much. Yeah, I'll definitely use that that Blackbeard at some point here. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The early game honestly isn't, even if you're using 1 and 2 stars, it's like it's not hard at all. We will have to get serious by the time we get to the end of Oceanus, though. The Demon Pillar will fuck you up if you're not using a team that makes sense. So I need to bear that in mind and like level an Ushi or something. Oh shit, 3,000 health. We're getting serious. Oh, I should probably post my friend code in chat here. That way people will have like some low-level 3 stars or 2 stars or whatever. Grail Ushi? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Not my cup of tea there. And I'm like I said earlier, I'm gonna try to put off grailing until we get to like 1.5 content or something like that. Why did you refuse to give Ushi head pads? I mean, I don't want to go to jail. And she got the video flagged twice. So yeah, if she would stop doing that. And in that recent video that she was in, that one got flagged and it took like a day to get it untagged. So she's bad. If she ever stops doing that, then, you know. Okay, now we have a story support. Fucking level 20 though. And they're killing me with these class combinations. Oh man, it's so tough, guys. What am I gonna do? Wow, my rider options are non-existent. I'm going to have to do something about that. Who it is? Yeah, it's a good thing I have a little while before Oceanus, because I am not ready for that Demon Pillar. Yeah, Herc was the tutorial summon 4-star. But we're not using it, obviously. Now you know how I feel about sabers. I don't know what you mean by that, Capo. Yeah, there is a chance that Herc will get burned. Right now, I'm not, you know, 1 rare prism away from anything, so there's no point. But it may come to that. If you want to go the extra mile, only use 3-star and below XP cards. I don't think so. That's just a really big waste of time. I would be dead. Like, it's gonna be very rare that I'm gonna have time to farm in this account anyway, so I think that would be taking it too far. Yeah, I'll be glad when NA gets the animation updates. Yeah, I'm not abandoning NA though by any means. It's just, it's not the best account for streaming, at least not for story content anyway. And I'm really in no rush on NA because it's got such a long way to go before they get to like the hard stuff. Look at all this green though, it's really nice. Why can't we have more of this and the other singularities? Rare prism screen is blank in an A. Yeah, it'll get there one day. Roar. So fierce, guys. Oh yeah, Berserkers in the early game are just OP, you steamroll everything. And then they become terrible, so you have to be careful. I'm definitely not going to be investing in them too much. I do want to have at least one of them though, just because I'm not going to be able to use Avengers, so I need to have an option against Rulers. And they're the next best thing. Yeah, this game is beatable with 3 stars. However, this is going to get a lot harder as we get further. Like for now, it's a complete cakewalk. It doesn't even matter what cards I pick. I mean, Ku will be used, I'm sure. Yeah, I definitely would have liked a Fergus animation update. I mean, his animations are better than a lot of the old units. I just realized I wasn't paying attention. I totally could have shielded Lubu and then given the dodge thing. It's like what you're supposed to do with Berserkers to keep them alive. I'm a bad master. I don't know what we do about Mash when she becomes a 4-star. That's really late into the game. I think it's just like Babylon, like, and then you can't even use her against Goetia, so I don't know if it's even gonna matter that much. You need more 3-stars than that to beat the whole game. I mean, sometimes you need AoE, for example, like the Ushi boss battle. If those were the only servants you had, you'd have a real hard time with Camelot and Babylon. And Goetia would murder that like big time. Like, you very much need, you know, some supports and such. Yeah, I mean, at some point I may stream in A. It's just, I mean, there's really nothing to do right now. It's like farming the Christmas event, oh man. Although, I guess these stages aren't that much better. They're pretty boring. But we gotta get through them to get to the good stuff, so... I need to get more FP so I can get Bloody St. George. You think you'll stream Story Like London? Yeah, I'm probably gonna save that for videos, just because if I stream it, I can't. Because you can watch the visual novel like story bits whenever you want. Like you can go to your My Room and watch them there. But I can't do the gameplay a second time, and I normally put some gameplay clips in the summary videos. We'll see though. It depends on, I guess, on what people would rather have. Streaming the story if they prefer that, or the summary videos. So, because there's really no way to do both. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to ask, because it's not like this content is very demanding. Are you playing on the same app as your main, or do you use something to switch? Yeah, you need apps to switch. Normally I use an app made by Samsung called Minox. But I use that for my regular ult, so I'm having to use an app called Parallel Space, which I do not like nearly as much, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Did you finish the new Salem chapters? I'm almost done. I beat the Demon Pillar, which I'll upload probably tomorrow. And the third fight with Abigail, so there's one more fight with Abigail, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, and then there's actually some bonus bosses. After you beat Abigail and you unlock the free quests, one of the free quests that once you clear it, it'll unlock another main quest story. And there's like 3 bosses in there. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that actually quite a bit. One of them is the bull. I would be using Regent right now if I had him. Is it worth to Grail Bedivere to 100? Yeah, it can be. I mean, he's one of the better 3-stars, no doubt. I mean, he'd be good enough at 90, I would say. But if you really like him, you could take him to 100 and he'd be pretty strong. We did it. See, the real victory right now is trying to keep Lubu alive during these stages. I swear the stages at the end of Fuyuki were harder than these. Which that is saying something. What is Astorius used for? Mostly he's used for his NP, and the trick is you normally use him against like a boss that has a really high hit count, especially if it's AoE. You use your other servants and his own defense up skill to keep him alive for a little bit, and the boss hitting him will get his NP rather quickly. And then basically you can use his NP so often that the boss starts doing 0 damage. So good examples like the Gorgon boss or the Goetia boss. The AoE a lot and their hit count is so high that Bull's NP just goes up super crazy fast. And then you're pretty much just looping his NP like all the time, and it just debuffs the boss so hard that, I mean, the boss's NP will do 0 damage. Like, you can beat Goetia with Astorius, or Astrios. He's really good, it's just, his niche only comes up, you know, here and there. You can beat Mordred and Camelot with him. And obviously you can Grail him, and then he just becomes a really good DPS unit as well, because, you know, all of his skills honestly help him do damage. Like, he can actually crit like a motherfucker when he's level 100, but that's, you know, that's a huge investment. So, man, Bedivere looks weird in his first stage. That is a thing. Can we one-shot this guy? That's in one turn, I mean. Yeah, Astorius is a fun one. It's pretty cool because, you know, he's a berserker, so his Star Absorb is terrible, but his third skill gives him a massive Star Absorb boost, and it also makes his Buster cards do more damage. So when you have some crit stars, you can do that, get the Buster up, you're pretty much guaranteed to crit, and then use his first skill, and then he at level 100 anyway, he'll hit super hard. Now, mind you, there are better uses for Grails, but if you like him, it's quite a lot of fun. It's definitely a unique unit that no one else plays like. Yeah, Bedivere's a very good Grail target. I mean, he's up there with the best of them for 3 stars. Yeah, I have a video of the Gorgon fight where I use Astrios, and Gorgon is doing 0 damage. It's pretty funny. I really enjoy when his gimmick comes up, because it's pretty silly, and it's kind of fun too, because you have to use the other 2 units to support Astrios so he lives long enough to get the loop going. So it's not like I'm, you know, completely easy. It'll probably be easier for people to put up supports once I get further in the game, because I'm trying not to overlevel, because I mean, what's the point? Although I will say, some of these quests are so easy, it's like, who fucking cares if you steamroll it or not, but we'll keep it legit. Damn it, I messed that up. Rip. It's okay. They understand, and they're giving me a freebie. See, I should have cast this last turn and everything. Derp, derp, derp. Yeah, those dragons weren't really doing much there. And now this is not an emulator. I'm playing on phone. It's just I'm mirroring the image onto my PC, and then I'm streaming the mirror. Let's see if we can do any FP summons. Get a St. George already. Oh yeah, Mystic Codes. Those are going to be fun, especially because one of them I think drops 3 claws, which I definitely want to get. You know, like a Sindku or something. Okay, I won't do it. He is good. It had to happen eventually. Why aren't you St. George? George is busy taking pictures. Yeah, apparently. I mean, I got a 2-star. It's just the wrong one. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to be adding people. I may have to delete a few people temporarily, just because at low level your what do you call it? Your friend slots are really limited. Necromancy on Turk. Let's see what's going on there. I think that's Capo right there. And yeah, I'm not like ignoring these people because I don't want to add them. It's just my friend slots are really limited right now. I only have 20, but I will add more people as time goes on. Right now, I kind of have to add people that have low-star servants. I think a level 100 Alexander might make this a little too easy. I mean, call me crazy. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, I see that. Oh, these names. God damn it, Capo! You don't have anything in your saber slot. I know what you mean now from before. Capo, you're just a little too high, but I will probably use you like in Oceanus. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Too bad the stages that got fucking sabers in it. God damn it. Fuck it, I'll bring him anyway. Wow, this is not the best team comp for this, but I don't think it'll matter. Let's see, did I miss anything, chat? ZN, I'm not using really high levels because, I mean, first of all, when the game first came out and like people were doing France, for example, no one was high level. Like you had to do France as a low level, and it's just there's no. I mean, I will say these stages are so easy it doesn't really matter, but I don't really want a free ride. Should I grail David? I mean, he's a good grail target. He's a very good support. If you grail him, he'll live longer, so he's more likely to do his thing. If you get his second skill to 10, he's pretty good. But, you know, if there's other people you like way more, you know, by all means. But David is not a bad grail target. I always say, you know, grail units that you like, and then that also need the grails, because, you know, sometimes you might like a character, but they're 5-star or something, so they don't really need it. Although, you know, if your favorite character is a 5-star and you like them way more than everybody else, then, you know, you might as well grail them then. But I try to find a good balance between how much I like a character and how much they actually need the grails. I would say hello, but your name is in Japanese characters, so I don't know how to say it. I don't read the moon runs, unfortunately. David or Robin Hood, who should I grail? Kind of depends what your other options are and who you like more. I would say overall Robin is probably a better grail target, just because I mean, his DPS gets pretty insane when grailed. But I mean, either one is totally fine. You know, David's support, Robin is deeps. Yes, grailing Kid Gilgamesh. He's a really good one, actually. He's not the most popular 3-star, but honestly, he's quite good. Oh, he grailed a Rash. That's a good one. I'd really like to see a grailed a Rash in action. Well, Rep Protoku. He tried. All these sabers, man. It's like, what you gonna do? Grailed Phantom Hype. Yeah, there's like 2 people in the world that have done that. And they're just sitting here like, he'll be buffed someday, right, guys? Right? It is funny because, you know, they've buffed lots of old units, and it's just kind of weird that he's not been buffed yet because he needs it more than anyone. I mean, they've buffed some really bad units, but I'm surprised they buffed them before him. One thing I dislike about keeping your levels like legit is you don't get your second skill for a while, so you're working with pretty simple toolkits. I've always wondered if they ever do make Nash a 5-star, I wonder if they'll let you grail her at that point. Is the other stream gone for good? No, it's not. It just, I'm having to mute a part of the video because the anime opening for FGO that got ID tagged, so I have to mute it, and it takes a while for it to go through. I should actually check here real quick to see if it's gone through or not. I think the other one is actually up now. I think I just need to make it live. It looks like it's good to go. Yeah, it says it's not ID claimed anymore, and it's not blocked, so I think it's up. I think that one still has the sound test at the beginning of it. I'll have to cut that out later. I don't think anyone wants to see that. Claire, are you here? So you always give me those nice summaries when I'm like looking away from chat. It's very helpful. If only Ku would turn to a 4-star. I mean, that would be. He's so good as is. If they made his stats better, I mean, my God. Although I will say, if you don't grail him, he's still good, but he's not nearly as good because he doesn't do enough damage while he's stalling. So the grails are. Hey, there we go. Look at this competition right here. We've got. I think this is Claire and Capo right here. What do I even do? I'll probably I'll go with Claire just because this is more level appropriate. It's like right on par with my guys. That's funny. I feel a little bad. Oh wait, we're fighting sabers again. Okay, hold on. Let's see what y'all got in the archer slots. Okay, I'm actually gonna summon. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. I have never used this guy ever. I know what he does, but I've never ever used him. Is domestic abuse goddess worth grailing? Are we talking about? I'm assuming you mean Aurelia. I mean, yeah, I don't really use her because the bosses that she's good at, she kind of trivializes, and then the other bosses she's just kind of okay against. So she's pretty gimmicky, but I mean, she is very good. And when her niche comes up, she's like devastatingly powerful. And I've never seen one grailed all that high, but I would imagine if you grailed one to like 90 or even 80, but 90 to 100 or something, I mean that would probably be pretty crazy. Aurelia or whatever. I don't give a shit how you pronounce her name. We need a fully grailed saber. Gilius, yeah, I would like to see that. I mean, the way his toolkit works, it scales with stats a lot. So if he ever was gonna work, he'd definitely be grailed. I don't know. I still don't know if it's worth it, but it might be. I don't know. I've never seen it, so I can't say it's bad. What do you think about grailing Kurotsugu? He's pretty good. He's not, you know, the best assassin in the game, but he's got some unique uses because he can give another unit taunt. So, you know, if the enemy is a single target, Noble Phantasm. Here's a good example. The Abigail, her final fight with her, I'm pretty sure like her NP removes your target's buffs. So if you want her to hit a specific unit, because it's a single target, Noble Phantasm, not an AoE. If you want her to hit a specific unit, like maybe you've got a CE on them that gives the unit guts, so they'll survive. You can use Kurotsugu to give that unit taunt, so you guarantee that her Noble Phantasm goes there, and so nobody dies. So that can be really useful. And he's got really good single target damage. He's a good assassin for sure. I'll show my main account at some point. It'd be kind of a pain to do it right now, but I can stream my main. I'm just not, because I mean, all I can really do is free quests or farm, or I mean, there's definitely entertaining things I could do. I'm sure, like doing daily missions with absurdly bad teams or really low-level teams, but I'll save that for a rainy day. I see something about Ku. What's going on here? Did someone ask what my waifu is? I mean, it's clearly St. George. Have you seen how many videos he's in? I mean, come on. Oh, now you're on about hands. God damn it, guys. That's a strained relationship right there. You know, bullshit aside though, he really, it is very wise to level him. He's very useful. Now, I don't remember if this is AoE or not. I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. George is the crux of all things good in the world. I can agree with this. He's really useful. I mean, if you got like a wombo combo that you can set up with your other 2 units, or even 3 units, and you use the switch Mystic Code, he just keeps your guys safe long enough to make sure you can get it, you know, set up. He's really nice. And then obviously, you know, he combos with Siegfried like super well. Now see, I'll be happy when there's content like Nerofest because those bosses are repeatable. So I can record them and then just dick around and stream the dicking around. Like, let's try to beat Herc with, you know, X or Y team comp. Hans says he's fine without Grails, but they sure do help. He's correct about this. Because obviously, if you're using his NP frequently, you know, you're getting the health back, but he's still susceptible to being one-shot by crits and such, so having more health is definitely helpful. Ah, here we go. Looks like we're going with Capo again. Sorry, Claire. I really am curious about Saber Gilius because, you know, everything about his toolkit like relates to multiplying normal cards, so stats are a really big deal. It'd be interesting to see how he does at 100. I'm sure he'd be like acceptable at 100, but I don't know if it's worth that many Grails. But who knows? I mean, there's a lot of untested stuff in this game, to be honest. Like, people always go on about this and that, but there's no testing for half of the shit. Oh shit, we're fighting Vlad. Got this epic music. I don't think there's any point in going for a Noble Phantasm. Kill him before that. The goal is to keep St. George alive. Because he keeps buffing, man. He's not even getting through the craft essence. Like, goddamn. Normally, you know, I would eat one turn by using Mash's shield, and then another turn with the Mystic Code dodge. I don't even need it. Oh shit. Got him. Didn't even NP. George too good. Yeah, I've bonded with Lubu, clearly. This, you know, this might be the Carmella fight. I don't know. Dare we bring St. George against an assassin? I might just for shits and giggles. Oh, but we have Babbage. But that Capo, come on, Formula Craft. He's a Buster unit. What are you doing? It's just silly. That's tempting right there. Oh, there's Geronimo. That might be the one. So fucking bad. Let's see what we got. Hands. He's too high though. I would totally use him if he had a second skill, because you could do that here. I think I'll go with the Demon Minky. This is going to be weird. Really need to level some units up in a little bit. No, Kathy, I've not missed Geronimo yet, but that's probably going to happen. I didn't realize Geronimo was there, okay? If they made Geronimo's skills all AoE, he would become an insanely good unit. I mean, his Noble Phantasm is good, regardless of his issues. His NP is good. You're only using 3-star CEs. Right now I am. That might change. It just depends. I don't know. Haven't really decided. I'm using them for now because I don't need to use anything stronger. We should all Grail Geronimo together. Yep, just get everyone that plays this game, everyone Grail Geronimo, and then DW will see it. He'll be on all the support pages, and they'll finally buff him. It's the only way, guys. I see there are no trash waves. Oh god, she NPs really quickly too. See, I was thinking it was like Rider trash mobs, that's why I put the caster in the back, which was a ruse. Do you guys have Merlin and Waver? I mean, not on this account. This account doesn't have jack shit. I have them on my main, but I don't use them very often. I've actually never used Merlin, but I do use Waver on rare occasion. Although I do use them actually for farming all the time. But for like main content, I try not to use them as much as I can. Who is your favorite 5-star servant? Gilgamesh. And then right behind him would be Enkidu and Mordred. Oh, and Arthur. If we're talking about character, not necessarily gameplay here. She can quick charge her NP, but because of the 2 dragons, I don't think she'll have the action points to charge and attack. I say that, and then we get wrecked. Yeah, I do have Merlin. I'm not exaggerating. I used one. Yeah, she quick charged. Yeah, okay, she can't NP though. We're safe. So that's why if you kill the dragons early, it can be a bad thing, because if one of the dragons was dead, she could have NP'd right there. Well, no matter who she NPs, you can survive, so... Let's see if we can kill her, but I don't think so. I do not have caster skill. I wish I did. That's one of the supports that's pretty cool and not overpowered. Yeah, I would really like to have Nightingale and caster skill. They're really cool. Least favorite 5-star? Oh boy, that I have to say there's probably more 5-stars that I'm either meh or pfft about compared to really liking. I have a list of all my my favorites in FGO. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Or here, Kath, can you grab it? Because I think it's pinned. Probably in questions for Green. If you can link that. Well, her NP failed. Well, we're gonna get fucked up by one of these dragons, I think. By the way, that list is a bit out of date because the site that lets you do it, it doesn't have like Arthur and Lobo. Anything past them isn't in there. I think it's up to like just a little bit past Babylon, I think. But I think the list is before 1.5. I'm pretty sure. Samura, well, you'll get him eventually. I mean, he's a 3-star, so. But that sucks. Yeah, it really sucks when you have like there's a 3-star you really want and you just can't get them. I got Ku on this ult account here in my tutorial summon, so I was pretty happy about that. Oh, fuck it, we'll do the bow. My boy. Hello Green, what is your motivation for using only bronze and silver? It's fun, you know. A lot of the okay, there's a lot of bosses that are hard even if you use SSRs. But a lot of the bosses, if you use SSRs, they're really easy. Like even if you play badly, you can just like wreck them. Where generally if you stick to lower star units, you have to, you know, kind of understand the boss and try a little bit harder, so it's fun. And I coincidentally really like a lot of the 3-stars in the game, and 1 and 2 stars. Like on my list that was linked a while ago, you'll notice a very large chunk of the top is 3 stars. I might be able to link the Discord here, let me see. Oh, Kath already got it. Right as I got it, Kath grabbed it, okay. Kath too fast. Now, see, this is where you would use Regent. Does anybody have Regent? Damn it. Well, there's some cool stuff in here anyway. We can whip out the 100 face. Which one do we use? Guess we'll go with Kath's just because it's in P1. I guess it's something in P5. It's not like you're gonna even get your NP in this. I don't think it matters. Oh, someone's got a Billy at 100. That's very nice. I plan on doing that somewhat soon, because mine's at 92. I definitely want... My goal is to get him to 100. He's probably the last servant, at least for a long time, that I'm going to take to 100. Everyone else I'll probably stop at 90 or 80. But I like Billy a lot, and his attack is so low by default that he really needs the grails. Kath, it depends. You know, starting NP is good, arts up is good. She's pretty arts based. Her NP gain can be good though when she has her first skill up. Like it can be. Oh yeah, her first stage looks pretty cool. Her first and second are really good. Yeah, she's actually become, since her recent buff, she's become one of my favorite units to use. She's a lot of fun. She's actually might be grailed at some point. I hear something about Gundam Wing, which I'm totally okay with. I don't know what that was. Good times right there. Let's see if I missed quite a bit of chat there. Farming is hard, I only live in events. Yeah, I will say, if on JP, farming when there are no events is easier. The free quests that they add in like 1.5, for example, their drop rates are much better. They're not like amazing, but they're good enough that farming isn't too bad. And you can dick around while you're doing those free quests. They're not super hard, but if you bring some lower end units and whatnot, they can be kind of fun. It's a good place to like play around with units and wombo combos for like testing and stuff. So it's actually pretty fun. I watched Gundam Wing just a few years ago, and I love how crazy everyone is. Yeah, yeah. Definitely not a perfect anime, but I enjoy it. And I really like that all of the factions have pretty reasonable motivations. There's no like morally black factions. Everybody's like doing something that you can kind of see why they would be doing it. Should I grail Ushi? I mean, she's a good grail target. If you don't like the character, I wouldn't bother. But if you like her, I don't think you would regret it really. She's not, the best single target rider in the game, but she's totally acceptable. Green, outside of challenge quests, would you say you can play this game with just about any servant you want? I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. When you're talking like farming and like easy stages like this, yeah, absolutely. You can use literally anything. And honestly, even in challenge quests, let's say your favorite unit is Phantom, God help you, but if your favorite unit is Phantom and there's a challenge quest, it's a rider boss, if you make the rest of the team designed, really well, you could get away with it. And if you grailed them, like if you grailed Phantom to 100 and the rest of the team was pretty meta, you could beat the boss with Phantom. Now you can't really, against challenge quests, you're not gonna like the whole team can't be your favorite units, right? Like you could have maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite units, and then the other units need to complement them. And I try to find like a balance. I find the units that complement other units well, that I also like somewhat. So for instance, if there's an art unit I like, I could support them with Tam, or I could support them with Mozart. I'm probably going to support them with Mozart, unless it just isn't going to work. But if I like Mozart more than Tam, so. And it helps once you kind of figure out what combos with what. You can kind of structure your teams to allow you to use off-meta units. So this is kind of interesting to note. They have been slowly changing how the voice lines play during Noble Phantasms and Speed Mode, and a lot of them I don't like. For instance, I'm about to do 100 Face Assailants NP. A few patches ago, I don't remember how quite long ago it was, but they changed it. It used to be, you know, she'd be saying her little dialogue, and then when right before she would strike, they would skip her dialogue and go straight to when she says the name of the Noble Phantasm. Or now it just plays her dialogue all the way through, and so now she says the name of her Noble Phantasm like near the end, like after they're already hitting the boss, so it sounds really stupid. And that annoyed me so much. I've actually recorded her NP. I've recorded it twice. Once where there was no music and no voice, so it was only playing the sound effects of the NP. And then I recorded it again, where it was only using the voice, so there was no sound effects or anything like that. And that way, in a video, I can edit the NP to not sound really stupid. And you can see what I'm talking about. She'll say the name of the NP after they're already like nearly done with it, where before she used to say it like right as they started attacking. But yeah, Gawain is another unit they've done that with. He used to say Excalibur like right as he fired it, and now he says it after it's already exploding. So I missed quite a bit of chat there. Games you play outside of FGO? Boy, I play a lot. I'm a big fan of Souls games. One of my favorite games for PvE is Ninja Gaiden Black, specifically Ninja Gaiden Black. I like some of the other Ninja Gaiden games, but I think Black is leaps and bounds better than the rest of them. Let's see. I played some Overwatch. I like Blaze Blue, which is a fighting game. I like that a lot. Here recently I've been playing Neo, which I'm liking a fair bit. I mean, I like genuinely challenging games, especially the ones that are, you know, about like iframes and dodging around and stuff. I've played quite a few like indie games like that as well. Yeah, I might go into more detail about that because there's it's a big list of stuff I like. But Dark Souls is a real big one. I'm a big fan of Dark Souls, especially Dark Souls 1 is my favorite. Will they ever buff Boudicca? They actually have buffed her once. They probably will buff her again. Her first buff makes it so her NP increases the party's attack for 3 turns, which stacks with her art buff. So with art units, she is pretty good. She's pretty solid. Nothing amazing, you know. Other units overshadow her by a lot, but she's at least usable now. But she's still bad. If they buff her though again, so her skill, the anti-Roman skill, so it does something on top of the anti-Roman stuff, she might actually be pretty good. So we'll see. If they buff her again, she might actually be decent. Boy, I'm way behind on chat. Sorry, guys. Who will be the new event server in Gata Gata 2018? I have no fucking idea. I don't know a lot about, you know, Japanese. I know some about Japanese, you know, folklore and legends and history, but not enough to have much of a guess on that, to be honest. I agree about Demon Souls. What about Demon Souls? I missed that. Are we talking about the differences between the Souls games? Demon Souls has the best world and story atmosphere. I do think Demon Souls has the best music. Not that the other games don't have some good songs. The other games have some phenomenal songs. But, you know, Made in Australia and, like, The One Who Craves Souls. I absolutely love those songs. There's some really good ones. Demon Souls, I don't dislike it. It's not my favorite, though, because it's a lot easier than the other games, especially when you look back at it, and once you understand how Souls games work, you can really see how it's the first game, like the Flame Torch Hollow, for example. In Demon Souls, he's just weaker, you know, his attacks are a lot more predictable and whatnot. And atmosphere-wise, that's very subjective. I do like Demon Souls' atmosphere a lot, but Dark Souls 1 is my favorite. I love how the world is connected, and I love a lot of the color palette in Dark Souls 1. Just really is my color scheme, I guess. But I have no hate for Demon Souls. It's a great game. Dark Souls 2 is my least favorite Souls game. I don't hate it. Some people act like it's the worst game ever. I definitely don't feel that way about it. It's just, I'm really into the PvP of Souls games, and the PvP in Dark Souls 2 is awful, and Souls Memory made it really hard to even PvP when you wanted. And adaptability at high level was just silly because everyone has so many iframes. I mean, once you leveled up adaptability, everyone's iframes were so high, there was almost no recovery frames, so wasn't a big fan of that. And Dark Souls 3, I like quite a lot. Not as much as 1, but I still think it's great. I don't really dislike any of the Souls games. And like with Dark Souls 2, I'll say this, that a lot of the zones look awesome. Like, they look amazing. The world does not sync up with itself, though. Like, everything's very disjointed from each other, and the world doesn't make geological flow. It doesn't make sense. The world doesn't, like, actually connect. Where the other games, like, the world actually connects. They have to do, like, a lot of weird, like, tricks in Dark Souls 2 to make the world connect, because it doesn't actually connect like the 1-in-1 does. And then Bloodborne I actually haven't played, so I can't speak to that one. I don't like the aesthetic very much in Bloodborne. I'm not a fan of that time period really, like early guns with stuff. I'm not a fan of it. It looks like a perfectly fun game though. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. And I've watched some streams of it and looked into it a fair bit. If it ever comes to PC, I would obviously play it. Grayling Babbage to 100. When NA gets smashed. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, well with Babbage, I actually have a friend that does have Babbage at 100. His attack is still kind of low, I have to say. That's like the problem with him. His attack is still kind of on the shitty end of things. But he is pretty good, and especially because they buffed his second skill the last 3 turns, so that kind of offsets his slow attack. And he's pretty good. For DPS AoE caster, he gets the job done quite well, and he's awesome looking. I love his sound effects and everything. When NA gets Mash at 4-star, what units are better? Wait. Oh, are you at... Okay, they're asking when does NA get Mash at 4-star. If I remember correctly, it's at the end of Camelot, I think. It's either in the middle, or near the end of Camelot, or after you beat Camelot. I don't quite remember. What units are better solo than in a team? Like, they do better solo than on a team. I mean, Ku can, kind of be like that. Although he can be good on a team as well, but he shines a lot solo. The Bald Bastard does great. He really shines when solo, because if he doesn't always get his cards, it can be difficult for him to get value out of all of his buffs from his NP. And because his NP does no damage, if you don't get value out of the cards, then it's kind of wasted. But he can still work in a team context. There are specific units that synergize with him that make him amazing. But if you don't have those units, or you don't like those units, or whatever, he's a bit more limited. But I mean, he's still a great 3-star all around. Nero is pretty good solo. She's more of like a last man standing kind of unit. Like when the rest of your team's dead, you put her in the back. She can do really well like that. Working my way through NA. Christmas grind right now. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. I'm a bit behind on the Christmas event, but no biggie. Mechanical robot guy with the big ass sword. Yeah, that would be Babbage. What 3 stars are worthy of Grayling? I mean, really, whoever you like, honestly. But some real standouts. Ku, the Bald Bastard. David, Robin Hood, 100 Faces Sand's pretty good now. Curse Arm, oh that's a 2-star I suppose. And Bedivere Caesar. Medea's a really good one. Billy can be really good. I would say Robin Hood though is probably better than Billy overall, but they're both great. There's no real problem there. To be honest, I think Potoku is better for a team. It really depends. If you're, just doing generic pew kill stuff, I definitely agree. But the lack of guts against some bosses is very noticeable, because let's say you've got Ku or Potoku in the front line. They're getting hit every once in a while, and which is lowering their protection from arrows charges, which is useful to your team, because every time the boss decides to attack them, they're not doing any damage. But let's say the boss finally gets rid of your protection from arrows. Maybe they get rid of it sooner than normal. and they're about to NP, you know, Protoku's dead, unless you sacrifice, you know, a skill from your Mystic Code or something from another unit, which you might want to save for a different unit. Where if it's Ku in an emergency, where if protection from arrows is down, Ku can throw up Guts and still survive, you know, it's very useful. But Protoku has better damage in a team context than Ku, no doubt. I mean, his damage, once you level up his skills, his crits are very, very good. And he's got the Store Absorb to make sure he gets the crits, so, you know, he's great. And oftentimes, protection from arrows is more than enough survivability. So Ku's, regular Ku's extra survivability is going to waste. You're not even using it, because you can win with or without it, so the extra survivability is just pointless. So in that context, Protoku is much better, much better. Are you not using Regent? I don't have him. If I had gotten him, I would use him. It's kind of weird that I don't have him, but that's just how it went down. I'll probably do more FP summoning in a second here. And yeah, I did a decent amount of FP summoning too, because I did a couple of 10 summons a few days before I started streaming this account, and never got him, so much trip. Man, 100 Faces is about to fuck some stuff up. FGO VR is only Japan, right? I guess. I honestly haven't looked into that at all. Cuckoo Kachu, yep. How do you feel about the game releasing servants with poor NP gain, which almost force you to use Garden of Avalon? You don't really have to use Garden of Avalon. It's because, I swear, people just get lazy because of Merlin. There's plenty of other units that help with NP gain. You know, like Ushi, for crying out loud, helps with NP gain. In crit setups, you know, when you crit with an NP card, you get way more NP out of it. So, you know, you can set them up that way. There's lots of ways to offset poor NP gain other than Merlin, and normally, not always, they're not perfect at balancing, but a lot of times when a unit does have poor NP gain, there's something to offset it, like they have something unique about them that, you know, if they had really high NP gain, they'd almost be overpowered. So sacrificing part of your team for like something like Ushi or whatever, or you know, or Waver if you want to go nuts, you know, it can be worth it, depending on the unit. Because yeah, I can't really think of any units that you have to use Merlin for. I mean, I don't ever use Merlin, and I'm hanging in there. Besides Phantom, what are the worst servants? Oh boy. Much as I love him, Sanson is definitely up there for one of the worst, because 2 of his skills, 2 out of 3 of his skills, do absolutely nothing in the majority of stages. And the real thing that makes Sanson bad is he has 3 quick cards. So, you know, your attack wheel is frequently going to have Sanson quick cards in it, and they don't make any crit starts. He only hits twice, so the crit generation is garbage, absolute garbage on him. So that's a huge problem with Sanson. Let's see, Bodusia, she's terrible, unfortunately. Let's see, what is it? Benkei is not very good. You know, he's got a niche, kind of, but it's never really worth it. If he gets buffed, though, he might work out. I don't know how to say her name, but the other Medusa's sister, whatever her name is, she's a 4-star. She's not very good. She just by nature of being a 4-star, honestly, she's better than Phantom and Sanson and all them. She's not great though. And yeah, no, Zig is fine. I mean, Zig before he got buffed is kind of bad, but he's not. He wasn't like, you know, Boudicca tier bad, but he was definitely bad. But since his 2 buffs, Zig is completely fine. Without St. George, he's kind of just a, you know, an okay AoE unit, not the best, but he gets the job done for farming. And with St. George, though, he's a great unit. He's excellent. You know, he's not correct for all, you know, every boss, but there's plenty of times. I mean, I've used him. I can't tell you how often I'll have a boss video on my channel, and before I did that, I did it with Siegfried and St. George, and then I just canceled the stage before it ended. I do that all the time. It's for fun. How do you think Abigail will pin out? Probably pretty good. The only thing that might make her kind of bad is she's not strong against any classes other than Berserker, so she, you know, a lot of times you just want to counter class stages. She's not good for that, but her skills are really strong. Her 3 skills are great. Her passive is really nice. If you're running 2030 with her or just on another unit, that's you know, it's 10 crit stars every turn just right there. So that's really nice. Because yeah, her passive makes 2 stars, crit stars per turn. But you know, gotta see it in action. Especially because she's a new class, it's a little hard to predict. She's, you know, neutral with so many things. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to judge. Looks like it's oh, this, okay, we'll do. Well, it sucks because he doesn't have all his skills to do all his crazy shit. But we'll use him. Why not? Really need to do some inventory management and some summoning. Boy, I need a chat summary. I am way behind now. Do you play Epic Remnant chapters with bond teams? Not really. I don't care enough. I do a little bit, especially if I know I won't need the back row. Like I'll, you know, if it's a regular stage, you know, you're probably not going to use anything but the first 3 servants. I'll make the back row servants, people that get the extra bond. But I mean, I honestly don't care that much. The servants I really wanted to get bond with, I already have bond with. And like in this last one, it's like I don't care about that many casters, so it's like what do I care if I get the extra bond or not? But you know, some people do it because they want the free SQ, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, you know, go nuts. And it's also kind of a fun challenge too. I was watching a stream the other day. It was pretty fun. This guy was, I mean, he was using full casters regardless of if it was meta or not, and it made some for enjoyable fights where like there'd be like riders and shit, and he'd have to try to get through it. It was pretty funny. So I can totally understand people wanting to do it for that kind of reason. I actually think that's pretty cool. Like trying to just figure out how to beat the content, if it's meta or not, with all casters. Have you ever used Serenity? Yes. Underrated 4-star servants aside from Zig. I don't even know. I don't think about 4 stars enough. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good 4 stars. They're normally not underrated though. I'm sure there are a few. I'd have to think about that. I'll have to try to remember to look at 4 stars later. Next stream, get back on that one. So hopefully a mod can hammer that into, remind me next time. To my knowledge, Green doesn't. Oh, no, that's not me. Oh, to my knowledge, Green does not know Japanese. I know a little bit of speaking it, just because my sister is actually pretty fluent in it. So I've picked up on some stuff, and you know, watching anime too and whatnot. But mainly because my sister learned it. I know some, nothing crazy though, and I can't read it at all. Like not even a little bit. Thoughts on Darius? You know, I used to think Darius completely sucked. I have been starting to find uses for him though. I used him in a recent video. He's not. You need the right team comp for him. He's not good, like in Camelot, for example. If you don't have a lot of options, it's not going to work. But if you're doing a 3-star only run, for example, there are definitely times that you can use him to pretty good effect. For example, if you're fighting a boss battle that consists of multiple bosses, you know, AoE is obviously nice, and he's got some fun gimmicks. You know, he's got guts who can survive. And for instance, if you use him with Shakespeare, who's, you know, pretty nice in low-star runs, you can use Shakespeare's 3rd skill, which increases a unit's NP by 20%, which is nice for a Berserker like Darius, because they have NP gaining problems. And then it also makes them generate more critical stars on hits. So let's say Darius has 80% NP, you know, maybe from, you know, he's got a K-scope on him, or he's just gotten up to 80%. You use Shakespeare's 3rd skill on him, so it gets him to 100% NP. And then Darius's NP hits many times. It's got a very high hit count. And if you're hitting 3 targets, you're hitting a crap load of stuff. And because of Shakespeare's star gen buff, Darius makes a crap load of stars. I mean, a huge number of stars. So you do, you know, a whole bunch of damage. You know, he's a Berserker. They're all weak to him. And then you have a bunch of crit stars for next turn to fuck some people up. You know, he's not great in general use. He's niche, for sure. But I like that. I was fucking around with him during the Santa altar challenge stage recently. And he worked really well for wiping out the reindeer and then making a bunch of crit stars to beat up Santa Alter with. He's not bad at all, but he's niche. He's very niche, and he's gonna have a really bad time in the mid game, like when you're in like Camelot in Babylon, and you haven't leveled up a lot of units, so you don't have like good options for him. He's kind of terrible in those situations. And if you're not doing a 3-star only run, there's lots of 4 and 5-star berserkers that are just so much better than him. There's not much point. But for challenge runs, he's got a niche for sure, and he's really cool. I like him a lot. And I said this earlier, my friend is actually grailing him to 100. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that works. I missed some questions here. Which ST SSR Lancer do you think is better gameplay-wise, Enkidu or Scath? Probably Enkidu, but it depends. Enkidu is more general use. He's pretty much good everywhere, especially since he got buffed. His buff made him a lot better. Like, it's pretty sick. He's got, Enkidu's got great critical star generation. His MP hits really hard. He can stun divinity targets. He's got a nice dodge and everything. But Scath's really good too. She's a great nuker. Her stun is more reliable because it works in targets without divinity. And if you are fighting a target with divinity, Scath's bonus damage is crazy. Scath can one-shot. You fight Ishtar 3 times in Babylon, and Scath can one-shot all 3 of them. So that's pretty great. I mean, they're both great. I would say Enkidu's a little bit better though, just for general use. But either one is totally fine. Is Regend worth grailing? It depends. His entire toolkit kind of revolves around he's got the crit bonus, right? Your crits, the more basic attack you have, the more you get out of his crits. If you grail Regend to like 80 or 90, it's really not worth it. Like, his stats still aren't high enough to get enough out of his skills and stuff for it to really work out. But at 100, he is very good. It's just a huge amount of dedication you have to put into him, where you could, just grail a 3-star assassin a couple of times and be nearly as good. Or you could grail, in Curse Arm, you can grail Curse Arm just a couple of times, and Curse Armor is great. Regend, you kind of have to go all the way, or none at all. But he is very good at 100. He works pretty well. He's definitely not the best, but for a 1-star, he's pretty great. When do you think we're getting the animation updates in NA? All I can really say is, how do I put this? They said at a Q&A that North America was going to get the animation updates sooner than Japan got them, but they didn't say when. So, eventually, going by the quality of life updates they've been adding to NA recently, it's probably fairly soon, because I'm going to guess they're just going to... wow, someone donated $2, so thank you very much. I think your name's Block? For a second there I thought you got blocked because of the name. What do you use to record and edit? I use an app called Mobazin, which works best on LG and Samsung devices. It does not record internal sound on other phones. You can still record, but it doesn't record internal sound. And you can buy earbuds made by Mobazin that then you can record internal sound, but that's an extra cost. And editing, I use Sony Vegas. It's an older one though. It's not like one of the new fancy ones, but it hasn't changed that much over the years. And I really appreciate the donation. Like, seriously, that's very nice. It's the first donation I've ever had, so I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Oh, wow, someone else donated. Zien. Wow. Hey man, great new series idea. Glad to have been here from the beginning. Keep up the good work. Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. I'm not the best at expressing gratitude, but I really do appreciate that stuff. It's like, I've been making videos for a while, and all the feedback really, it really motivates you to keep going and keep making it, because you don't feel like you're wasting your time. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this series. My only fear is just the time, because I got my other 2 accounts. So if I need a form in this account, like on an event, it's going to be a real problem. But I'll make it work. And really, guys, thanks for the donations a lot. I really appreciate that. I am so far behind on chat. And now my watch begins. What am I missing here? Oh, wow, I do have over 300 viewers. That's really cool. Oh my god, can a mod give me a chat summary? I'm trying, but dude, your solo videos, give me hard. Please continue them. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to continue them. There have been several bosses that Ku can solo that I haven't done a solo video for. And the reason is I'm just trying to balance out the 3-star teams and the meme teams, and or using Mordred or whatever with the Ku solos, because if I do nothing but Ku solos, it's going to get boring. And I've already had some people saying they think it's boring. Although on the flip side, it's like I've had videos where I upload something that Ku could have soloed, but I didn't. And then people are like, well, why didn't you solo this with Ku, man? And then I upload a Ku solo, and they're like, well, I don't want to see Ku solos, so... And obviously, those are 2 different groups of people. It's not like people are fickle or anything. So you can't please everyone, so just trying to find a balance. Someone said, damn it, Tusk. Is Tusk in here? I would not be surprised. Don't listen to anything that man says. You forgot to activate Guts on the stream, that's why it died. Did the stream die? The stream did die. Alright, are we back? I was in the middle of like an explanation of some stuff there, and I think the stream died. Yeah, I may be having internet issues, because Tusk is here now, actually, and I'm sure he's using the internet. And if he's doing anything demanding, it'll probably fuck me up. So is the stream still dead? Okay. Let's see if it actually works now. I don't think so.